On this sunny October evening, I'm out on the Centennial Green for FAB's annual Fall Festival. Hear more about the horse-drawn carriages and more fall-themed activities.
Coca-Cola Zero Sugar Lemonade is being recalled due to the fact that it does in fact have sugar. Hear all about the recall.
Rock and roll pastries makes its way into Kent with a new bakery opening up. Tune in for more.
And updates on the recent death of Hamas's leader who orchestrated the October 7th attacks on Israel. All this and more as KSTV starts right now.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good evening, Portage County. Thank you for joining Kent Stater TV this Thursday. I'm Lex Rady.
And I'm Joe Malbin. A recent tragedy over the weekend has left many members of the community in mourning.
Last Friday, Kent State sophomore Jaden Brisky passed away at Akron City Hospital. Members of his family are now remembering and celebrating his life.
Early Thursday morning, sophomore Jaden Brisky fell from the rooftop at University Inn, an off-campus apartment complex. After many surgeries attempting to save his life, Brisky passed on Friday.
He's just a good kid, really positive, always helpful, rarely said anything negative towards anybody else.
Brisky was studying business at Kent State University on an academic scholarship. During his time at school, he worked at a grocery store in Hudson while commuting from his uncle's house, where he lived with his uncle and his family.
He fit really, really great in here. He wasn't here that long with us in Hudson, but he fit in great.
Brisky is described to have put family first, watching over his younger cousins and spending time with family as much as he could.
It wasn't often where he was like, no, I don't want to go. Like, he was always, us before his other stuff.
A GoFundMe was recently created to cover the expenses of hospital bills, with over $12,000 raised. A top donation of $2,600 was made by Brisky's hometown job in Racine, Wisconsin.
We all knew how sweet and cool and nice he was, but it's nice to know that that's being reciprocated. We're feeling very sad, but it's nice to hear that people knew how nice he was.
Brisky's friends and family will be remembering his life on October 27th at Sereno Funeral Home in Racine, Wisconsin.
He touched people a lot in a positive way.
Now, the GoFundMe may have reached its goal. However, donations are still being accepted to help cover any additional medical costs. You can find the link to the GoFundMe on KentWire.com.
Good evening, Portage County. I'm Michael Neenan, here to tell you what the weather is going to be like in Kent for the next 24 hours, because currently in Kent it is 56 degrees. It's very sunny. We do have a full moon tonight, and the sun will be setting at 6:40 p.m., so there's still some time in the day left, though it won't be completely dark till around 7. Wind is traveling northwest at around 5 miles an hour, and I am very happy to report that we do have a full 10-mile visibility tonight. However, at about 2 a.m. there will be a freeze warning. So if you do happen to be outside that late, be certain to bring a jacket. Now, as we look into the weather for the next 12 or so hours, at 8 p.m. it will be 46 degrees. It will be very clear skies, and there will be a 2% chance of precipitation. As we go into midnight, it will be 40 degrees. And it will get as low as 34 degrees at 8 a.m. and it will be pretty cloudy. As I've mentioned, be sure to wear layers, wear long pants, long sleeves, all of those. Be safe out there. Though tomorrow later in the day it will heat up a little bit. It'll be around 66 degrees tomorrow for Friday with really low winds at 2 miles an hour. It's going to be very sunny. So if you're going out, say in the afternoon, you should be fine, though that freeze warning does pretty much go for all of Friday until about noon, so be sure to look out for that. But that is all the time I have for now. Stick around later, though, as we check on the temperatures around Northeast Ohio. Let's send things back to the desk.
Thank you, Michael. Now, I don't know about you, Joe, but I am just loving this beautiful fall weather. My sinuses, however, are not.
Yeah, you know, the fall weather is beautiful, and Fall Fest is an annual tradition here at Kent. Our own reporter Lillian Drabick is there now. Lillian, what's it like?
That's right, I'm here at the Centennial Green at FAB's annual Fall Fest. Here, all students are welcome to engage in fall-themed activities and create fall-themed crafts. Live musicians have been set up to perform for festival goers. With this beautiful fall weather, students can participate in activities and crafts, including making a fall-themed tote bag. To test out their new tote bag, students can shop and receive giveaways from the Haymaker Farmers Market. Vouchers are still being handed out for 7 free farmers market items, or they can exchange the voucher for a bag of popcorn. The first 500 students to enter received mugs, and there are still some mugs available. Students also had the opportunity to ride along in a horse-drawn carriage around the green. For anyone looking for a toasty sweet treat, the Fall Fest held a s'mores making station, as well as a hot drink station. If you missed out tonight, don't worry, as many fall events will be happening in the near future. Workers handed out the Haunted Happenings event bingo card, where students can collect stamps at any of FAB's participating Halloween events. Students who get 4 out of 7 events will be eligible to win a $50 gift card. And that's all that I have on FAB's Fall Festival. Be sure to get out and enjoy the beautiful weather. For KSTV, this has been Lillian Drabick. Back to you at Franklin Hall.
Thanks, Lillian. Akron streets are a little bit safer, at least according to a press conference held by Akron's mayor yesterday. Crime is down across the board. 911 calls about shootings or shots fired are down by 33%, and there is a 25% decrease in crimes where a gun is used. Murder cases in the city, which are also down, also have a 66% solve rate this year. Despite this decrease in violent crime, there are still calls for the police chief to resign. The mayor calls these calls misplaced.
A Manaway police officer is planning to file a lawsuit against the Portage County Sheriff's Office after her child endangerment case was dismissed. Officer Miranda Brothers was charged with leaving her child with a registered sex offender. However, her attorney, Eric Fink, says there's no evidence of wrongdoing. According to Fink, the lawsuit is trying to figure out why the sheriff's office initiated a sting operation against Officer Brothers.
State Representative Bill Romer is hoping his bill that would create an alert system for when a felon escapes from jail will be passed. The notification would be called the Escaped Convict Alert Program, and if passed, would have the similarities of the Amber Alert system. The alerts would immediately go to devices in the area the convicted or charged felon is located. Romer is hoping to get a hearing on the bill as soon as possible.
With the election approaching, Ohioans who are placing absentee ballots are no longer able to place ballots for their family members. This new rule was changed by Secretary of State Frank LaRose in order to limit who could return a ballot. Voting rights advocates sued, however, the Ohio Supreme Court upheld the new rule. Ohioans can still turn in ballots for relatives, but they must go into the Board of Elections office and sign a form.
An improper label has caused the recall of thousands of Coca-Cola Minute Zero Sugar lemonade cans. Although labeled sugar-free, the cans contain the regular formula of lemonade, which includes 40 grams of sugar. Now, if you need that to be put in perspective, the exact measurement of sugar is equivalent to 4 Krispy Kreme donuts. The FDA has classified the recall as Class 2, meaning it involves a health hazard situation.
Aldi's gearing up for this year's Thanksgiving with a massive meal deal. Find out more as KSTV has the latest consumer updates for you.
And a new bakery has opened up in downtown Kent. We have the details of the grand opening along with the baked goods.
Many Olympians have launched their careers at Kent State University. In track and field, veteran coach Nathan Fanger has propelled 2 star athletes to the Summer Games. Following in their powerful footsteps is Olympic hopeful Gabby Bailey. Gabby's high school coach knew Kent State would be a perfect home for the Jamaican star after seeing the success of one of his former athletes, Olympian Daniil Thomas Dodd.
Kent is a good place to grow because the environment here is unmatched compared to other schools. It's not just a good place for athletes, it's a good place for everybody. Everybody feels supported here.
Coach Fanger helps Gabby grow athletically and academically.
We want to go win conference championships and we want to see people's success outside of track and field, but to get there, you've got to be able to be supportive through the whole process, right? I'm there essentially 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It's like an experience that you probably won't get anywhere else. And it's just a feeling of being welcome all the time.
At Kent State University, student athletes from around the world find their home away from home.
My dream has always been to come to the United States and play basketball on a college level.
I'm going to be the first graduate in my family. It's a big thing for me.
The faculty members here at Kent State are incredible.
I feel like Kent State, it has all the opportunity in the world.
Northeast Ohio is the ideal place for them to excel athletically and academically. From the moment they arrive, students are surrounded by a network of support that helps them thrive and achieve their dreams.
We are a family, so helping each other out is one of the most important things.
Straight away I knew I had people that I could count on. As soon as I got here, between coaches, friends that I met pretty early on, I feel like this is a second home now.
This is the place. This is it.
Coach Starkey, he always asks about how you're doing.
Our coaches are so supportive. They make you better athletes, and so many of those qualities are transferable. You're going to come out of here being a successful student athlete.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
The upcoming holidays and election will bring plenty for consumers.
For more consumer news, we go now to KSTV correspondent Alex Minch. Good evening, Alex.
Good evening, everyone. We have a lot of good consumer updates ranging from the election all the way to holiday shopping. Yesterday, the Federal Trade Commission revealed the final click-to-cancel rule. This means that businesses have to require a way for consumers to cancel their subscriptions that's just as easy as it is to sign up. The goal of this rule is to address common issues with subscription plans. This rule will go into effect 180 days after it is published in the Federal Register. With the election coming up, companies have been getting ready. Lyft recently announced it will be offering 50% off rides to the polling station on Election Day as part of its voting access program. This is to encourage more involvement in the election. According to a recent report from Lyft, a 1-mile increase in distance to a polling site can reduce voter turnout by 20%. With the election right around the corner, that means Thanksgiving isn't too far behind. To celebrate, grocery chain Aldi is offering a $47 meal deal that can feed up to 10 people. The meal includes a butterball turkey, gravy, rolls, mac and cheese, as well as stuffing. Consumers will also receive ingredients to make cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole, and pumpkin pie. The holiday season's approaching and consumers are getting ready to get the most bang for their buck. In a recent survey, consumers plan on spending an average of almost $1,800 this season. That's up 8% year over year. The number of gifts being purchased is also on the rise, with this year averaging 9 compared to last year's 8. That's sadly all the time I have for you today. Coming to you live from Franklin Hall, I've been Alex Minch, and thank you for tuning in to all the most recent consumer news.
Thanks, Alex. Pastry lovers are about to get some satisfaction.
A Rolling Stones themed bakery is opening up in Kent, which places a focus on affordability while also focusing on hiring people with disabilities.
Our reporter Emma Campbell has more on the Rolling Stones, and she is joining us in the studio to talk more about it.
Hey guys, today I got the chance to visit the new rock and roll themed bakery, Rolling Stones in Kent. So basically it's a bakery off of Cherry Street in Kent that is offering baked goods at a cheap price for KSU students. KSU students are able to enter the bakery and they can use their Flesh ID for 10% off on any baked goods while listening to music, rock and roll music, and having a good study session with their friends. I think that this is a really great opportunity for Kent to have this bakery opening up because it is bringing a welcoming environment to the community and also incorporating nothing better than music, which brings everyone closer together at the end of the day. So here today I have Lex and Joe, and we're actually doing a taste test on some scones. So it looks like, Lex, you have the gluten-free blueberry.
I do. I also have hand sanitizer for us.
Oh, perfect.
Just because, you know, everyone's getting a little sick.
Absolutely.
Which I will not be sick after eating this scone because it is gluten-free.
Thank you, Lex.
Thank you for bringing us
Yes,
this.
of course. You
I'm
have
very
the gluten-free blueberry scone,
Yeah.
and then Joe, you have the cat-shaped cookie.
Yeah.
And then I have a raspberry scone as well. So, do you guys want to give it a try?
Absolutely.
Alrighty.
I'm ready to jump in.
Let's do some ASMR.
That's really good.
This is delicious. What do you guys think?
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. What flavor scone do you have there?
I have raspberry.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. What flavor is the cookie?
I don't know.
What would you rate
Tastes
it
like-
on a scale of like 1 to 10?
Oh, definitely like an 8 or a 9.
8
It's
or
up
9?
there. Very
Yeah.
good. Very
It looks
good.
really cute. Great Halloween themed.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What about you? What do you rate it?
Oh, I'm trying to finish this right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's really good. I mean, I kind of want to eat it before we go back
We
to
can
the
have
desk.
a scone contest.
I know. I
Who can
mean,
eat it the
it's
fastest.
really good, especially for being gluten-free. It does not taste that way at all. I'm like really proud of them.
Yeah, they have a lot of gluten-free options there, which I was surprised by, but it's really great. Alrighty, so it looks like that's all the time we have today, but we can go ahead and jump to Anthony and hear more about sports, right?
The NLCS goes from the West Coast to the East Coast. Could the Mets take home Game 3 and go ahead in the series? Stay tuned to find out.
Liam Aberly. I am an assistant designer here at Yellow Cake. Everything I do currently is all stuff that builds on top of things I learned at Kent.
They had a different commitment to their craft or to their major. You know, part of that is just who he is naturally, and I think part of that he gleaned and honed at, his time at Kent State.
There has been a bit of a budding scene here in Cleveland between Valerie and some other designers that live around here, and we're really starting to put Cleveland on the map in the fashion world.
At Kent State University, student athletes from around the world find their home away from home.
My dream has always been to come to the United States and play basketball on a college level.
I'm gonna be the first graduate in my family. It's a big thing for me.
The faculty members here at Kent State are incredible.
I feel like Kent State, it has all the opportunity in the world.
Northeast Ohio is the ideal place for them to excel athletically and academically. From the moment they arrive, students are surrounded by a network of support that helps them thrive and achieve their dreams.
We are a family, so helping each other out is one of the most important things.
Straight away, I knew I had people that I could count on. As soon as I got here, between coaches, friends that I met pretty early on, I feel like this is a second home now.
This is the place. This is it. Coach Starkey, he always asks about how you're doing.
Our coaches are so supportive. They make you better athletes, and so many of those qualities are transferable. You're going to come out of here being a successful student athlete.
Israel has announced the death of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, who orchestrated the October 7th attacks on Israel.
Sinwar was killed by Israeli forces in Gaza. He spent many years in an Israeli prison before becoming a leader of Hamas.
Vice President Kamala Harris has described Sinwar's death as, quote, an opportunity to end the war in Gaza, end quote. Taking a closer look at American politics, former President Jimmy Carter voted in the 2024 presidential election. A Carter Center spokesperson confirmed that the former president cast his ballot by mail from his home in swing state, Georgia, last Wednesday. He has remained in hospice care since February of 2023.
And the Supreme Court is allowing the Environmental Protection Agency to temporarily enforce regulations on power plant emissions. This comes after justices denied emergency requests made by Republican state attorney generals and industry advocates. Justices Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh said that some of these challenges could succeed and that there is no need to rule now on the issue because EPA regulations will not require action until next year.
The federal government is using AI to fight financial crimes, and it appears to be paying off. A machine learning AI software is helping the U.S. Treasury Department sift through massive amounts of data, along with recovering billions of dollars worth of check fraud. This is nearly triple from what the Treasury recovered in previous years.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
Welcome back, Portage County. While I don't know much about artificial intelligence, I do know about the temperatures across Ohio, because as we go from north to south, as you can see, it is in those mid-50s, especially in Toledo and the Yakima-Canton area. It is still pretty cold even as you go into central and southern Ohio, even into northern Kentucky. Cincinnati's at 62 degrees. Overall, that fall weather is really hitting Ohio. I still remember a couple weeks ago, we were still seeing 80 degrees, but, you know, personally, I like that fall weather, and, you know, at least you can start drinking cider, you can start carving pumpkins, all that fun stuff. Oh, and for all you Yinzers out there, it is 59 degrees in Pittsburgh, but let's take a look at the northeast Ohio temperatures. Why don't we? As we zoom in and we go through as to west to east, say in Sandusky currently, it's 59 degrees. In Cedar Point, I don't know if it's still open, however, hopefully it's not too cold to do roller coasters, but then going east, it does actually get a little bit colder as you go, especially in Ashtabula, it is 55 degrees. Going south, the Kent area, in those mid-50s, and overall just a very brisk weather. We will start seeing those freezing temperatures a little bit at night sometimes as we get further into fall. Now, why don't we take a look at the 7-day forecast, shall we? Well, over the next 7 days, it will be pretty sunny. We're going to be seeing some pretty low lows, though, especially tomorrow. It will be a low of 36, but it will be in the 70s for the most part going into Monday. There's not going to be a whole lot of clouds. That will change going into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, because we will see a lot more clouds. We'll see a little bit higher chance of precipitation as well, though it will be in the 70s up until Thursday, when it will be 56 degrees, but that's all the time I have for now. Be sure to check KentWire.com for any major weather updates. Stay safe, Portage County.
Thanks, Needon. New information has come out in regards to the death of former One Direction band member Liam Payne. Staff at the hotel had requested urgent police assistance for a guest who was tearing the room apart and being described as having alcohol and drugs in his system. One Direction released a joint statement on their Instagram this afternoon, mentioning the memories they shared and that they will have more to say in time. They ended the message with, "We love you, Liam."
President Joe Biden has approved roughly $4 billion in student loan debt relief. This round of debt relief covers approximately 60,000 public sector workers, which includes firefighters, teachers, and nurses. The Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program is where borrowers can go to get debt relief. While the program was created around 20 years ago, the Biden administration has greatly expanded it. And a new study that came out this week shows a new treatment that could cut the risk of death from cervical cancer. This new cancer treatment adds 6 weeks of chemotherapy to the standard amount of treatment. 80% of people who got the 6-week course lived at least 5 more years, and 72% of people who got the course did not see the cancer return.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
Well, it's the announcement Browns fans have been waiting for. The team will be moving stadiums from their lakefront stadium in Cleveland to a dome stadium in Brook Park.
Mayor Justin Bibb gave a statement on the development discussing his disappointment in the Browns' decision and that he remains committed to keeping the Browns in Cleveland. Wow, that is such a big change. What do you think about it, Joe?
Well, I personally think the new stadium could allow for more events to come to Northeast Ohio, and luckily our sports anchor Anthony Leonardi is here. Anthony, what are your thoughts on the move?
Yeah, thanks guys, and I actually agree with Joe. For one, I can say I am very excited about the new stadium because I think it'll be a good change, give fans something to be excited about, specifically pro wrestling fans, as we might be able to get a WrestleMania now. But anyways, we got Maction going on right now, so we're going to head on over to the pitch as the Kent State women's soccer team traveled out to Buffalo, New York to take on the Buffalo Bulls and are playing right now. The Flashes are coming off a big win against Central Michigan last week with a final score of 3-2, and they will need that momentum to continue because the Bulls are rolling this season with a record of 9-1-4. The Flashes will need to get aggressive offensively because Buffalo has only given up 1 goal since their loss against Western Michigan in September. And we are going to go over to Citi Field for Game 3 of the NLCS. We're going to start it in the top of the second inning. Luis Severino, he cannot make the play. Will Smith is going to get an infield single RBI. The Dodgers are up 1-0. Same inning. Tommy Edman, the former outfielder in me, is having a heart attack, but this will be a sac fly. He makes the catch. Teoscar Hernandez scores. It is now 2-0. We're going to go to the top of the sixth. The Dodgers are just going to keep chipping away at the home crowd, and Kike Hernandez is going to hit this 2-run shot. I mean, he knew it as soon as it came off of the bat. Dodgers are now up by 4, and they just kept deflating the Mets. I mean, they just couldn't get anything going. They were leaving runners on base pretty much all game, but they did show some fight. Speaking of show, it's what everybody's been waiting for. It is showtime. Shohei Ohtani, the Dodgers prize that they acquired last offseason. He hits this upper decker 3-run shot. What a missile from Shohei Ohtani, likely the NL MVP. The Dodgers take this one in New York 8-0. They absolutely crushed the Mets. And guess what, folks? It's that time of the week again. We have Week 7 Thursday Night Football. The Denver Broncos travel out to play the New Orleans Saints at 8:15. This game is the first non-divisional matchup on Thursday Night Football this year, and it should be interesting. The Saints seem to be plagued with injuries, and that includes their starting quarterback and both starting receivers, who expect to miss tonight's game. On the other hand, Denver seems to be struggling offensively really heavily. They can't really get that ball in the end zone on a consistent basis. That being said, I do think the Saints will win this one at home tonight. And that is all I have for you guys tonight. For more sports news, be sure to check out KentWire.com. I'm Anthony Leonardi. Have a great night, Portage County.
Have arrived from China. Hear all about when and where you'll be able to see these endangered bears.
Between Kent State and the Cleveland Museum of Natural History is a long-standing one.
Dr. Aaron's experimental lab is really state-of-the-art. It's known internationally.
We can recreate any artifacts from the last 3 million years, and the Cleveland Museum of Natural History has pretty much any tool that ancient people use. So we send our students up here to study those examples so they can figure out how to recreate them. And the collaboration led to incredible discoveries right here in Ohio. And it's a dream come true.
Kent State University's Marcello Fantoni has served on the scientific committee of the Palace of Versailles for the past decade. Through this prestigious position, Fantoni creates worldwide connections, helping Kent State students and faculty realize one-of-a-kind global experiences.
Today, Kent State University is a global university. We have a presence in every single continent of this planet. If we send our Ohio students all over the world and bring their experiences back, we create the conditions in Ohio for a much healthier and stronger development of the entire state. When you come back and you have more tools in your brain, more options for solutions, you are a more talented, a more versatile professional. And this is what the market wants today. The future of higher education is global.
This week, 2 giant pandas arrived from China and are making their home in the Smithsonian Zoo in Washington, D.C. Bo Li and his female companion Ching Bo got to eat some bamboo, stretch their legs, and enjoy a time in the pool following their long ride over. The public can come see the pandas starting January 24th.
Pandas.
Very cool.
They are just adorable.
Oh, yes.
I love pandas so much. I think that, you know, if I was reincarnated, I'd probably be a panda.
Yeah.
They just sit there
and eat.
Enjoy life,
They're
eat
so
bamboo.
cute.
Very healthy. Well, that's all we have for you tonight, Portage County.
To stay up to date on all these stories and more, follow @KentWired on all social media platforms. I'm Joe Malbin.
And I'm Lex Brady. Have a great night, Portage County.
Today, the world could use a little more understanding. Understanding nurtured by shared values. We come together at Kent State. Different dreams, different viewpoints, united by purpose. Preparing to make a difference in our divided world. Wherever you are in your life's journey, come learn with us. Begin at Kent State. At Kent State University, we want all students to develop a global perspective, and with more than 200 study abroad programs in 60 countries, there are many opportunities. One is found